It all began with a wrong number, a tired thumb, a desperate heart, and one small cry for help in the form of a late-night text message. Rachel, a 24-year-old single mom living in a rundown apartment on the edge of Milwaukee, was sitting cross-legged on her living room floor, her back aching from hours of bouncing her crying newborn, the fridge empty, and her eyes swollen from sleepless nights. The baby formula was gone. Her WIC benefits had been delayed. Her paycheck, which was already stretched thin between rent and bills, wouldn't arrive for 5 more days. In a state of exhaustion only a struggling mother could understand, Rachel sent a text to her best friend. "Hey, I hate asking, but can you lend me $38 till Friday? I need formula for the baby. I'll pay you back, I promise." But in her foggy haze, she misdialed 1 digit off. That text didn't go to her friend. It went to a stranger. A man 1,000 miles away, sitting in the silence of a high-rise penthouse in Manhattan, surrounded by wealth most people couldn't even imagine. That man was Daniel Grant, billionaire investor, CEO, reclusive tech mogul. A man whose name rarely appeared in interviews. A man known for disappearing from the public eye after his wife's death 5 years ago. He wasn't the type to respond to strangers. In fact, his number wasn't supposed to be public at all. But for some reason, he hadn't changed it in years. And for some reason, he saw the message. And paused. $38 for baby formula. Not a scam. Not a pitch. Just a line of raw, unfiltered, human desperation. Something about that text struck him like a knife to the chest. He read it again. Then again. He stared out his floor-to-ceiling window, thinking of the daughter he lost. Of his wife, who died giving birth. Of the pain money couldn't touch. Of the nights he'd cried alone, just like this stranger on the other side of a screen. And so, Daniel responded. "You texted the wrong person. But tell me more." Rachel, now rocking her baby in silence, read the reply and froze. Embarrassed, scared, confused. "I'm so sorry," she typed back instantly. "That wasn't meant for you. Please ignore." But he didn't. Instead, Daniel transferred $1,000 to the Cash App link tied to her phone. A minute later, another text. "Buy your baby what she needs. And something for you too." Rachel stared at the screen, hand over her mouth, the baby asleep on her chest. Was it a joke? A mistake? But when she opened the app, the balance didn't lie. She burst into tears, not because of the money, but because for the first time in forever, someone saw her. No strings. No judgment. Just help. But the story didn't stop there. The next morning, Daniel messaged again. "Can we talk? I'd like to help more, if that's okay." Rachel didn't know whether to block the number or respond. But something in her heart told her this wasn't a trap. So she called. That first phone call lasted 3 hours. Rachel told her story honestly. How she worked nights as a waitress, how her daughter's father had left before the birth, how she barely survived on minimum wage and food stamps. She never asked for more help. She didn't beg. She just shared, like a dam finally breaking. And Daniel didn't interrupt. He just listened.
And cried.
And when she finished, he said quietly, "My mom raised me alone too. But she never had someone to help. I do. And I want to be that someone for you." That same day, he wired her $50,000. No contract. No conditions. He called it a gift. Rachel tried to refuse, but he said, "Accepting help isn't weakness. It's proof you still believe in hope." Days later, Daniel flew to Milwaukee, privately, quietly. No press. No announcement. He showed up at Rachel's door with a baby carrier, a warm smile, and a box of groceries. When she opened the door, baby in arms, hair tied back, pajamas still on, she almost shut it out of fear. But then he knelt, looked into her daughter's eyes, and whispered, "You're safe now." That's when Rachel knew this was real. He sat on her old couch. He saw the peeling paint, the leaky faucet, the broken heater. And instead of pity, he said, "This is a home. I feel love here." Within a week, Daniel bought her a new house. Not a mansion, but a warm, clean, safe place near the park. He paid off her debts. set up a trust fund for the baby, got her enrolled in college part-time, bought her a laptop, found her a childcare grant. But more than that, he gave her back her identity. You are not a burden, he told her. You are a mother, a warrior, a future. Rachel's story slowly leaked into the world, not by her, but from a woman who overheard them at a coffee shop talking about life and loss and rebuilding. Within a week, it went viral. Single mom texts billionaire by mistake, receives more than she asked for. But Daniel stayed silent. He refused interviews. Rachel turned down deals. She wasn't chasing fame. She was raising her daughter. Quietly. Powerfully. But what happened next turned this story from beautiful to unforgettable. Inspired by the accident that changed her life, Rachel launched a community fund called the $38 Miracle. The idea? Raise small donations to provide emergency formula, diapers, and rent assistance for struggling single mothers across the U.S. She didn't want to save the world, just help moms breathe again. In the first month, the fund raised $280,000. By month 3, it passed $1 million. Not because of corporations or celebrities, but because of everyday people who saw themselves in her. Single parents, widows, grandmothers, veterans, teachers. The quiet army of the hurting and the hopeful. Daniel matched every dollar up to $5 million. Not with flashy PR, but with quiet resolve. He said, "We spend billions solving problems we caused, but sometimes a $38 act of love is all someone needs to keep going." And Rachel? She didn't become rich or famous. She became real. A symbol. A fighter. A survivor who proved that dignity is worth more than donations. Today, she runs workshops for single moms on how to rebuild, how to apply for aid, how to advocate, how to rise. She speaks in high schools and shelters. Not as a celebrity, but as living proof that even in your lowest moment, you can be a rising sun in someone else's night. And here's what's even more incredible. She still sends texts. Every night before bed, she messages 3 random numbers. Hi. You don't know me, but if you're struggling right now, please know you matter. You're stronger than this storm. Keep going. Some block her. Some say thank you. But every now and then, one person texts back, "You just saved me." And that's how kindness works. It doesn't ask permission. It doesn't need applause. It just shows up. Quietly. Fiercely. Exactly when someone needs it most. So if you're watching this, if you're broke, tired, lost, or on the verge of quitting, please hear this. You are not forgotten.
You are not a mistake.
And you are not alone. If a tired mom with $0 and a wrong number can change the world, so can you. You don't need a billionaire. You just need one person who refuses to give up on you. And maybe, just maybe, that person is reading this right now. So don't wait. Be the text. Be the warmth. Be the $38 that saves someone's life. Because in a world full of noise, broken systems, and empty promises, real stories still matter. And this one, it's not just a story. It's a revolution of love, one mistake at a time.